guys starting off 0-7 on the road so far this season?
That's tough. You kind of convince yourself you could be 500 with the way the games are gone. Excuse me. But we're 0-7. Showed a lot more life tonight, a little bit more consistency of trying to maintain momentum in the game. Just gotta keep figuring it out in terms of trying to put together a complete game, knowing that the other team is gonna feed off their home crowd, gonna probably play better than you expect, and we gotta meet that intensity, especially on the defensive end. But pretty disappointing to be 0-7 for sure.
Steph, did you were you seeing more double teams in this game than you did in the last two? It seemed like Mike was sending 2 or 3 guys at you at times, especially in the fourth quarter.
Made adjustments for sure. Matter of it's Sabonis or HB or whoever, they didn't want to. First 2 games they switched a lot or let it get downhill, and they tried to trap a lot to get the ball out of your hands. We handled it pretty well for most of the game. I still got a decent amount of looks, but obviously the way I'm playing, I gotta expect that more in the future. Teams making adjustments like that, and just try to make the right reads and still be aggressive to draw attention and get other people shots.
Draymond was kind of making an interesting point about your past second units really change up the offense when you sack. But this one doesn't really pull, like in some ways, kind of plays your style. Are you seeing that? I know you're kind of sitting on the bench on the time of the game I'm talking about, but are you seeing that shift?
I think, there's more of a set identity where teams are passed or second units are passed. Like to your Draymond's point, where you kind of knew how you're going to create good shots, settle yourself if it's not going your way. Obviously, they had a real high defensive identity and impact on the game. And that's just something that you have to figure out because most of the guys haven't played together. So you gotta, there's a little bit of patience with it, but you also understand that we gotta win games and we have to continue to try to put everybody in positions to be successful and just control the flow of the game better than we have.
Steph, you guys have played the Kings 3 times in 3 weeks, and all of them been really close. I mean, are you seeing anything different from this year's Kings team compared to past years?
I think when did Sabonis get traded? I don't even remember.
February.
Is that last year?
Yeah, last year.
So you have you start off in training camp. You start off the season with better preparation and understanding who you are. Mike D coming in, trying to put the defensive mindset behind the guys. D Fox is playing pretty well. And then you have guys like Keegan and Kevin who go off tonight, especially with the 3-point line. So I think they're understanding how to play together. Again, I just said it, kind of creating an identity of how they're going to win games. It's I think anybody who's trying to take that jump from a non-playoff team to a playoff team to the next level, the consistency is the part that kind of separates you. So we'll see if they can do it.
And what have you seen from Fox this year in particular? I know you guys have had some pretty good matchups the past 3 games you guys played.
I think he's obviously fast as lightning transition, and you obviously know that. I think he shoots the ball pretty well. He's been a lot more decisive. Wouldn't pick and choose his spots. He's got good spacing around him, so it's what you'd expect for a guy that's been around, as long as he has, to continue to make strides and become more efficient. efficiency is kind of key in terms of taking that next step.
Turnovers have always been a microcosm of your game, which is the style that you guys played tonight. The middle 2 quarters were especially problematic for turnovers, and you guys are struggling with a lot of points off of turnovers. Just what are you seeing with that in particular right now?
We're gonna have, like, it's always about the type of turnovers we have. We're gonna have some because we move the ball. There's a lot of organized chaos. I had one transition trying to find Clay third quarter. It's like those type of turnovers where you start to get a good momentum, good grasp of the game, and you get a deflection, they get a steal, you come down in transition. There's no defense for those type of turnovers. But we gotta be mindful of it, but not feel like we gotta play robotic at all. Play scared out there. Just be mindful about the type of turnovers you have, and especially, when you have 6 point, 8 point lead, those are the type of plays that can give a team momentum to get back into it. And in the NBA, the momentum swings they happen in the blink of an eye. And you gotta be able to do everything in your power to, especially on the road, to avoid that.
Steph, do you look at the standings at all at this point, and does it give you any solace? Like when you look at the West, it's not what we thought it would be. You got a bunch of teams that we thought would dominate that are finding their way. You got Utah on top. It's just still a little strange everywhere, even with what you guys have been through. I think you're 4 back from the top spot. Like, do you
First?
Yeah. I mean, do you look at all? And does that help you feel better about still having a lot of time?
I don't look at it too much. I mean, you look at your record more. Like anytime you're below 500, it's not a good thing to look at next to your team name. I guess to your point, like you'd like to feel like you're not that far off from getting on a run and putting a string of games together. We obviously have to play better on the road, but it's real early to get too consumed with that. I heard we're 13th in the West right now, so I know it, but it's not so much you just stare at the standings after every game, because a lot of 68 games or 69 games.
Steph, in a lot of these fourth quarters, it's been close. There hasn't been a lot of young guys. There's been guys who won championships. What are you taking away from the inability to finish those games, even though you guys kind of major name winning tough road playoff games?
I think it's not a good feeling to know we've had 3 or 4 legit kind of opportunities to close out a game. Think about Charlotte, Orlando, Miami tonight. Detroit was a back-to-back, so it's kind of tough to gauge that one. But it's more understanding how thin the margin is throughout the meat of the game and puts you in that position where the team is feeling good about themselves, at home. And since 2-possession game either way, when you were up 15 at one point, you're clawed your way back from down 9 in the fourth quarter. So I think about those windows in the game more than down the stretch, especially this early in the season, because that's where you really build confidence in what you're doing, when you can kind of capitalize off of those good runs throughout the meat of the game, because then you don't have to, there might be a close game, but the confidence and the flow of the game is a lot different. So we clawed our way back from 9 down and took a 2-point lead, I think, and it was a pretty electric fourth quarter. Doesn't go our way down the stretch, but my focus goes to those middle portions of the game that, we make the game a lot harder than we need to.
In that second quarter, I think you guys were 2 for 10 from 3, 7 for 9 on 2-pointers. Obviously, you guys are a 3-point shooting team in the past. How do you find the balance of they're going to come, but also maybe we should attack a little more too?
A lot of it's just the reads. The first question, they were trapping, so we had a lot of opportunity to create space around the perimeter with one guy in the middle making plays. Draymond was in the pocket, kicking out. I took one bad one, I think, in the in the fourth quarter. The rest of them are, from my knowledge, like you could classify them as decent shots to good shots somewhere in there, and you let them die by them or with them, or not in that sense. But maybe early in the fourth quarter or towards the middle of the fourth quarter when they go on their run, you could try to get to the free throw line a little bit more. But the way they were defending us, we had some space out there, so we gotta have confidence to take those shots.
Your favorite question, you think you're gonna play tomorrow?
Absolutely.
It will.
I'll see you there.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
That's pretty good, 30.
Appreciate that.
All right, that's it in here. We're done. Your TV